Alright. I'm gonna go watch it with my friends.
Yeah, absolutely. These two teams are fairly strong when it comes to the rankings overall. I would have expected to see them moving a little bit further along, especially ENCE. I mean, they're the ones that you would have expected Movistar Riders in this spot.
Yeah, for sure. Well, ENCE taking on TYLOO, our opening matchup of the day. One of these teams will be heading home at the end of this best of 3. Immediately, we're on Inferno, and it's ENCE on the T side, sending multiple players in towards Banana early. Somebody's going to be under pressure. Flash up in his face as he comes back, but it's a bait and switch setup. Intent, he's going to be checked. ENCE don't let that one slide. So man advantage picked up with Sunny finding the headshot.
Realizing they got Banana a little bit too easy there. And checking out the close right corner, it leaves ENCE with lots of control. TYLOO not in a position where they can afford to re-peek down to Banana just yet, as obviously there could be lots of clocks waiting to take them down. It robs them of any information, but they do start to rotate to A, a bit of a gamble as they didn't push out, and actually leaving one player super low. That's somebody on 8 HP to defend B solo as they push all the way up long, and TYLOO getting caught out there, not able to return fire.
Well, wrapping around from long, it's going to be Sunny and Sergey trying to open things up. Summer will find the headshot. Sunny finding 2 kills alongside Ariel, who managed to pick off 1, so it's all onto somebody. 1v4 recovery of the A bomb site, not looking too likely on 8 HP, so he backs into the cubby. ENCE will find the pistol win, but the goal here from somebody is to try and pick off 1 or 2 players on the exit to get rid of a couple of these players. But a great start from Sunny. And we need to see more of the Sergey today, Mitch. I think yesterday was a little bit quiet in their game. I think he can certainly step up to a complete other level, and that would certainly put ENCE in a better position than they were yesterday. This is last stand saloon for the team. They've got to show us what they're made of today.
You heard them talking on the desk about how this veto, the way it's gone down, actually looks like there's a possibility for TYLOO to 2-0 this overall. And the fact is, you know, Inferno is their most played map, Mirage their 3rd most with 32 and 23 plays respectively. That's only really when we go to train that we could look favorably towards ENCE, I guess. Especially with yesterday's performance taken into consideration.
Well, coming into this one, TYLOO are going to go for a force buy. Kevlar upgraded pistols across the board, utility in play. Over on ENCE, they've got themselves the 2 Galils, Mac 10 AK alongside the UMP after winning the pistol. TYLOO certainly have a chance of picking this one up, but we'll see if ENCE can withstand. Top Molotov coming in towards Banana. It's going to bounce off the car and clear the half-wall corner as well. Bentet throwing utility in. That's a meaty nade on towards Alu and Sergey. Somebody wants to play a bit of an off-angle with a 5-7. Hoping he can pick off one of these players as they swing wide for information. And Sergey is going to be the first face. Galil in hand. Doesn't want to overextend. Knows the potential of a player being around the corner. Doesn't want to give away anything early from ENCE.
1 minute, 10 seconds left. They've just lost a player there to a wall bang with a deagle. Freeman having a grand old time with that. As a bit of contention comes in towards Banana, you've got Bentet not able to get out of there alive, and they lose the B bomb site despite having that pick on A. Bomb dropped towards the bottom of Banana, so there is going to have to be a rotate, and they're not able to get that done in time. Now you've got Alu isolated on the B bomb site. They've just lost another player, leaving the rotate to come down from Ariel. He'll pick up the bomb, but now he's moving towards A. This is a little bit messy from ENCE, but looks like Alu's going to move back down Banana, take the A site, and completely evade TYLOO, who were just assuming, obviously, the bomb would be right up that alley.
Well, the bomb is coming back through mid, pushing forward. Ariel will find himself a kill towards Freeman, who tried to rotate back through Speedway, but cannot get there speedy enough. And so ENCE will have the A-bomb site to play with. They'll have time to get into post-plant positions, but certainly still a chance for TYLOO to win this. They have no kit, so they've got to be quick. They've got the flash in the back of attacker. Summer has the Galil. Ariel and Alu both taking positions inside of the pit. Ariel, the big pit, playing on top of the bicycle. You can look between the apartment's balcony exit and short, and that's exactly where Summer's coming from. Short, the flashbang, it's been used up. Blinds Ariel for a moment, but Summer starts to move forward. Alu in a duel at long, but it's 2 kills coming in for Alu. The Galil picks them both up. 2-0, ENCE find themselves the second. Good damage, though, from TYLOO, finding those 3 kills.
Good post plans coming through from ENCE, but really it was in the initial setup when they have the bomb bottom Banana, they push up to B, then things start to look a little bit scary because they lose a player, they're not able to hold down the B bomb side, but at that point the decision is made to leave Ariel as a lurk outside of A. Yeah. He'll go and seize the control a little bit more aggressively, knowing TYLOO will have rotated after completely losing the side and being smoked out, and then Alu makes the rotate around to the A site, gets that plant, and it's pretty much done from that point.
Well, with TYLOO deciding to force buy into the last, that does mean that they will be coming into this round with absolutely nothing. So ENCE should be picking this one up rather simply, but as soon as I say that, a kill from Summer comes in towards mid. The Assault Eagle in play finds himself a victim, but Aerial in the apartments with the bomb. Let's see what he can find. A little bit risky, maybe, sending him in on his own, but he makes it away.
You've got those MAC-10s looking to farm up quite a lot of money. This is where you've got to be a little bit cautious because you've already lost that goal. Just recovering it now leaves X7 with the only SMG. You don't want to play too individually here. If you just push them forward, you can see that they are grouped up looking for the trades. They're conscious of the corner Summer's in, so he shouldn't be getting away with all too much. As they move forward, Bentet's only got a USP, and there's 3 players here. As soon as he peeks out, he should be dead to rights and actually smoked off. But he fades through it just up behind them. Damage done by Attacker, but not able to finish off any more kills.
Well, Sunny takes away somebody. 3-0 for ENCE.
He took that fight with 1 HP.
Yeah, he barely survives, right? They could have lost 3 players in that round, and that's pretty impressive from TYLOO to be able to do that, considering they only had the 1 Deagle invested. But here's the more important round. We're finally getting into the meaty part of the game, right? We have ourselves a bye round coming through. This is such a nice shot. Coming into this, TYLOO have got themselves M4s. 1 M4A, 1S here on somebody. No op yet being brought into play from either side. Sergey wasting no time right through the fire and flames. The nade comes in, and it does enough damage to let the Molotov take him away. Aerial will find the follow-up, trading back into a 4v4, but incredible utility usage from TYLOO early on, but ENCE have Banana. They'll be happy enough with a 1-for-1. And they've got Banana control alongside Apartments, so ENCE currently have a lot of the map to work with. Yeah, smoke deep in towards CT, but there's a reply from TYLOO immediately smoking off the corridor at top Banana. And starting to bring that bomb back over towards B. They've got Attacker on the coffins here in the CT setup. Intet following up from first Orange is ready with his utility to spring into action. Molotov is available if they need it. But ENCE ready to walk in towards the B-bomb site. The remaining players all grouped up in Banana. A lot of utility to play with as well. Molotov comes in from TYLOO. ENCE will just wait it out. They still have time to play with. Finally, the utility starts to come through.
Moving slowly forward here. ENCE have only got 27 seconds, so pushing in is going to be quite difficult to get that bomb down. If they're dropped on the initial entry, time could be wasted by TYLOO, but Attacker falls. Bentet, low HP in the corner, not a chance on first Oranges, and even the spam through the smoke works out. Nothing could have went better for them there, as Freeman pretty much has to save at this point. They won't have a lot coming into the next round, but it's the best you can make of the situation, really. The 1v4 is pretty unlikely.
Yeah, really good execute from ENCE overall. They gather up in Banana, they come in, they wait the time out. I think ENCE are looking very well prepared so far at the start of Inferno. TYLOO couldn't really win those important aim duels towards the end of that round. So ENCE certainly looking like the better side straight out of the gate, but we'll see whether or not TYLOO can recover. It is still early days, but ENCE will be happy enough with a perfect 4-0 lead at the beginning of Inferno. Such an important matchup for both of these teams. I think coming into this event, both of these rosters would be expecting to do well, right? To go deep in this tournament. And eliminating one of these teams on the second day is certainly not what many people would have expected. But Movistar Riders certainly showing up yesterday and sending a little bit of an upset. But TYLOO, they'll not be happy seeing ENCE in this elimination game. This is not a team they would be hoping for at all.
I mean, ENCE were shaky yesterday, but now coming in for a little bit of a reset, hopefully. That's why you were a little bit worried about them coming into this series overall. I mean, if they're showing up in the same form as the day before, TYLOO would probably have an easy enough time. Or definitely a threatening time. And for now, I mean, it's still very early days. You can't count them out just yet. We were talking about, I mean, you've got the tag pause coming through from TYLOO, and the logic behind it. You've got that rifle to work with. You've got a bit of money, and it looks like they're going in for the full investment, even despite the utility being a little bit lack. Oh, it's a replay. Never mind. I was wondering how they managed to do that. They managed to pull all that out. No, it's the pistols. And on Inferno, those closer range fights can really work out. When you're talking about Deagles, certainly even the CZ and the P250, so many close range angles for you to just tuck in. And for ENCE, they should obviously be favored in this round, but there's a lot of caveats here. You don't want to be caught out. But so far, they've been very stringent when they clear these positions. Somebody Molotov'd out. They haven't got a lot of utility to expand to get him out of there. It's one of their only smokes down, just to cover his cross back out.
Yeah, well, he swings wide, and it could have been far worse. You know, ENCE could have been peeking around that corner. Somebody certainly was not getting away with his life, but he still stands. 46 HP to his name as he goes back into the position he was previously playing. Utility is going to go back up towards top banana. Somebody blinded. Flash comes up again, but ENCE still not wanting to around the corner. Still not wanting to put pressure, and as soon as they do, somebody pulls his knife. So suddenly, taking that easy pick, opening things up for ENCE. But if they continue to walk into the B-bomb site, there's still 2 players here they have to deal with. One up on the boost towards New Box, and one backing him up in below in oranges. But it's Summer who peeks in towards middle. He hit a nasty one dig earlier on in the match, but hasn't quite been able to replicate that success. Instead, Aerial will drop him. And then we're in a position where ENCE certainly should be picking this one up rather smoothly, but that is not smooth at all. Attacker does fall eventually to X7. That could have been far, far worse for the Finnish player.
This round could have been far, far worse for them as well. The fact that they haven't lost all too much, but they are walking towards the B bomb site where Bentet and Freeman are holding down the 2 remaining players. The rifle is here alongside a P250. And they've just been spotted out with at least 1 player. Time very low. There's a shot coming through from Bentet, and he gets a second as well before falling. The round win was unlikely, but at least good damage done.
I think the round 1 was impossible, right? But Bentet finding those kills, pretty nasty stuff. And I think that's just a flash in the pan of his potential as a player. I think Bentet clearly is one of the best players within the region. And, well, unfortunately, it still hasn't been enough for TYLOO to really compete on the international stage just yet. And so far, it's not so good here in Malta as they are in the elimination matchup. And we'll see what they can do coming into this one. They've finally got the AWP. It's into the hands of Summer, and they've also got the rifles on the rest of the forces. Now coming through, it's a battle of bananas certainly underway. Nades coming in up towards top car, and in behind it, somebody's just going to be playing in behind the wood. Damage done on towards Alu and Sergey from the utility used by TYLOO, but it's Freeman holding on to the apartments. 2 kills coming through as ENCE try to spring load themselves through the balcony. Somebody drops Sergey before hitting the deck thanks to Alu's AK, but it's not enough just yet for ENCE. Still a 2v4, still looking unrecoverable, but Alu will do his best. He moves in towards top banana, checking the coffins for a player potentially up there. But at this point, ENCE realize winning this round is massively unlikely.
Yeah, the 2v4s are never going to feel all too good. Sonny's going to bring things towards B where Alu's tucked in and hope that they can maybe catch them off. Find a couple of kills. That Molotov not spread to him just yet.
Well, Alu just hiding in the corner. Molotov not quite reaching him. He will eventually peek into the open, and while the boost is coming in, this might catch him off guard. I think Alu will find it pretty difficult to deal with this, especially with Bentet hiding. Swinging wide, Attacker will take the headshot. Alu so trained on that one position where Bentet is currently playing from. Molotov going through, it's going to force Bentet into the open. Attacker peeks with him, and Sunny will fall. 5-1, TYLOO finally get one on the board. A little bit of a strange round, though, from ENCE. You know, sending those 2 players immediately out of the balcony when the rest were sort of working banana. I can see the idea you want to take that pick, but Freeman does such a good job at holding on.
Now, usually you're going to be trying to move up through middle, grab yourself a little bit of short control, send the players out balcony, move with them.
Yeah, indeed. And while you can use code ECC with Hellkiss over at Hellkiss for a added bonus match, so certainly sounds good to me.
Well, there you go. So if you want to get involved in Hellcase, now's the time. Get yourself that bonus. For TYLOO, they're looking for a bonus in a couple more rounds, but it's not just yet. ENCE have got a little bit of cash to invest into AKs. They'll have it again if they lose this one. The benefit of winning the 5 in a row and somewhat cleanly. Look at this aggression coming down from somebody. They've seized bottom banana control. He's going to tuck in. We should have a re-smoke coming down the bottom. And then you can have maybe even the rotate around, or Bentet might want to stick in top banana, bait in for somebody and allow a big play to come through a little bit later on. ENCE haven't indicated any preference towards the bomb site just yet. And as they move into banana, this could be dangerous. Somebody with 1.
Yeah, somebody deep in banana, managing 1 kill. Sunny comes through and finds the follow-up, and it's a 4 versus 4. Bentet just hiding on the top of the car. Flash comes around, it's perfect. He's blinded by it, but no one really capitalizing just yet. And still haven't moved, but Bentet gets aggressive to line up. It's 2 for Bentet, and that should seal the deal here for TYLOO. As X7 and Aerial have to try and pull this off. Attacker underneath the porch, smoke up in his face. The problem now becomes Summer on long, flash in. He's forced away. So ENCE have dealt with both positions on short and long, but now they need to round the corner. Summer's fallen all the way back towards Library. Aerial peeked that corner and seen that no one was currently peeking. But as soon as he goes back again, there's certainly an AWP waiting for him. Attacker finally strikes in the dark, and he finds himself both. It's 2 for TYLOO.
TYLOO lining them up in that round. For Bentet, though, I felt like he could have swung out to help somebody when he was trapped in that corner down in the cubby bottom banana, but he just hit away, eventually got them to line up, so why ever not? It worked out in the end, but it certainly was a risky play. It gave ENCE the opportunity to find both kills on banana in 2 versus 1 duels. Now with the second round of the board, again, we're talking about ENCE having the cash to play with. They can get themselves a buy up, as we said, but this is where it comes to an end. Their financial advantage isn't in play anymore. A really important round for the T's now to win this out, and you even see a weakness coming through on X7. I see that he's had to take the CZ again. Molotoving close on sandbags. Somebody going aggressive afterwards. It's a brave play.
Oh, well, here's a 2 for 2 utility coming in for TYLOO to deliver a couple of important kills. If they don't get those, Mitch, it's certainly looking rough. But 3v3, doable for both teams, is completely open this round. Currently, TYLOO have 1 player on the B-bomb side, but the rotating frag is going through from Summer. He's got the AWP, but he's going to just throw utility to sort of signal that there could be a player from CT as ENCE want to approach in towards Banana. Summer will then fall back and help out on A yet again.
So the curious thing here is that now for TYLOO, they're in a really, not a very ideal spot. They don't have any information to play with, no map control. They have to gamble up a little bit. And the fact that the utility came in from CT and then the resmoke from Bentet, ENCE have now read that there were 2 players towards the B-bomb site, but not anymore because the immediate rotate was there. Summer moves over to the A side. He's looking at long, and then you've got Freeman looking at short from the bomb site itself. It's still a very isolated position overall. As ENCE, as they push up, you can see any duel that they take will be a 3 versus 1 essentially, with trades more than likely to come through. But still, for TYLOO, the opportunities are there with the fact that the AWP of Summer can watch the cross as well now, as he's no longer focused towards long, but about to be smoked off.
Smoke comes in towards Modo, Molotov's towards the pit, but Summer walks right through the smoke to help his teammate. Freeman cannot do anything, but the AWPer can. Summer picking up 1, but over the top of the smoke, TYLOO takes his head off, and ENCE get the bomb plant just in the nick of time. Bentet in a 1v2, the Indonesian star to try and get it done. He'll start to make his way through the library. He's got to be quick, he's got to be accurate. Door open, he'll move through. Checks towards the mini pit, but no one there. No heads to be shown. Bentet starts to calculate all the risks and possibilities of winning this, and I think he's realized winning it is rather impossible. So he's going to back off in towards the library and save over what he's got, taking 1 look at his economy. He's trying to catch a player on the exit, but cannot quite line it up onto X7. He'll have a second attempt, does damage, but cannot pick him up in the end. And X7 does die to the bomb, so the damage was enough to get rid of X7. So Bentet, it was worth the push coming through library to do that damage on towards X7 on the exit.
I mean, we already talked about where the cash is at for ENCE, so it's important to find as much damage as you can, keep everybody modest. And I think TYLOO may see rewards for that. They themselves are running low on cash, though. As we look now towards a 6-2 scoreline, this is where ENCE have already secured themselves a pretty decent scoreline. They're feeling comfortable with where they're at, and anything from this point forward is a bit of a bonus. TYLOO, I mean, feeling comfortable on Inferno as well. It's their most played map and almost their highest win rate. They'll be disappointed if they give ENCE such a heavy leash early on.
Well, coming into this was the pick of TYLOO. If you're just tuning in, you can see underneath the mini-map, you'll see the maps that will be played in the series. Inferno and Raj are confirmed, and Summer will confirm himself a kill on towards Aerial. An advantage here over on TYLOO to play with. ENCE yet to find the trade. So, 2 players up towards top of mid.
Look at that
on the AWP.
Look at the aggression that's coming out from TYLOO and Banana. So Bentet's already rotated fully through as somebody's just waiting behind that smoke. Now you've got 4-man stacked towards the A bomb side, and ENCE looking to push up towards there. This is going to be a really, really rough fight for them to take. TYLOO with a huge advantage in this initial fight. Summer's there supporting short, attacker Freeman, all of angles as well. The only real weakness is Bentet on long alone, but Summer, even then, once these smokes fade, can swing out to assist him. And Bentet's getting aggressive, though. This is dangerous.
Just getting himself in towards the cubby. He has the backup of somebody, so there is a really, of Summer, should I say, it is a really good crossfire setup. Summer takes the initial attention, taking the 1 kill with Bentet able to follow in behind and catch off the players completely unaware. But that smoke causes problems, and Vintet's got to fight. He's got himself one, throws the Molotov instead to try and force them away. It is a very good move from Vintet as they're going to run back in towards Banana. Somebody's waiting for TYLOO to come his way. Sergey on the back of him as well, and great stuff from somebody. 2 kills coming in. An attacker picks up a headshot as well. 3 on the board for TYLOO. Starting to look pretty solid on the CT side. Actually quite a bit of innovation on their setups, right? You have Vintet playing in towards the cubby. You have Summer on the AWP playing in from long. And even when things start to go poorly, that Molotov from Vintet, it may just be a small factor too, but you have to realize that forces them away, right? The time's starting to get low. They decide, well, let's just run back in towards Banana and see if that's enough. Somebody's ready for it. He's got the communication that coming back in towards Banana, and he deals with it well.
Yeah, for me, that's a little too risky for my blood, though, being down a tree. If he gets dropped there, the B bomb site's open for business, and that's easy pickings. If you're up top wall, like around car, you're going to lose probably 1 second on the info there. So they'll be like 1 second closer to the bomb site, but you'll be able to back off, use your util to slow them down. But either way, it works out if you hit your shots. And 6-3. I mean, this is what we need from TYLOO. The fact now that they're facing off against the Pistols makes it more likely that they win. And they're going to be conscious after a little bit of a break in between the rounds that ENCE are probably going to be coming at this round with strategy. It's going to be a faster play from them, blitzing in. So you need to be a little bit safer at the start of the round. Looks like we're going for early nades down through Banana. Sergey's completely blinded and in trouble up close. Freeman pushes through that smoke, though.
Well, that's just TYLOO in a nutshell, right? That's just a TYLOO play. Right through the smoke, Freeman goes, and, well, Sergey takes his head off with a P250. They'll be happy enough with an M4 picked up. And, well, I think the TYLOO have got the memo that ENCE are on a bit of a low buy. Some are able to find one on the AWP, but the pressure is still coming. It's not stopping at all as ENCE trying to spring in through long. They're still going with it. TYLOO gets himself into the cubby. He wants to go through with a flashbang through the smoke, but he's blinded by it and goes back in, shrouding himself.
Oh, that's a bit unfortunate for poor old ENCE. The Pistols getting lined up. They've dropped the M4 as well, and at this point, Ariel in a 1 versus 4. He's unlikely to win it. Jumps around to try and avoid that op shot, but Summer still hits it, no problemos. And a 6-4 scoreline. And TYLOO's starting to rake up the rounds, but here's the buy from ENCE potentially. Oh no, it'll be the next round now because they bought into Pistols a little too heavily. And this will leave them now, TYLOO presumably with 6-5. Again, though, faster strategy is likely to come through in rounds like this.
That's the thing, right? It feels like ENCE haven't won in so long, but the fact that they've already posted 6 just shows that the good start that they had. And TYLOO coming into this, they've got the double up setup, they've got the M4s in play. This should be a rather simple pickup for them. So 6-5 on the board. TYLOO may have got off to a slow start, but certainly starting to build into it.
We're not looking at too fast of a play from ENCE. They're actually very spread out, playing somewhat of defaults with Glocks a little bit more aggressively than normal. Ariel and Ali will look to go in towards the apartments together. Sunny, X7, just down on bottom mid, watching for pushes, with Sergey going through the smoke on Banana. It's an interesting setup. Sergey's about to run right into somebody. He's got an AWP. If he misses the shot, maybe there's a chance, but also supported by Bentet right up behind. I don't know how he's managed to face it. There was a smoke down, and somebody couldn't spot, obviously, Sergey walking through it. This makes it a little bit awkward. They've actually got a really good setup to potentially drop that AWP in Banana. Just biding their time, though, waiting. So if that X7 peaks, he'll bait the shot out. Then Sergey can swing and presumably take somebody down with the cock time. Oh, there you go. Exactly, that comes through.
Well, Sergey swings wide. Glock comes in. AWP picked up, but Bentet, he's been so solid on these multi-kills, and he gets himself another 2 coming through. But Sergey gets the right read. He's got 2 on the AWP. And this is perfect. Man advantage for ENCE to play with. 34 seconds. Freeman, an attacker, looking for a way back into this round. Bomb planted. Time ticking. And Freeman, an attacker, look to try and get back onto the site. But Sergey continuing to deliver with the sniper. It's all on Freeman. A 1 versus 3. Moving forward. Sergey hungry for his 4th. And there it is. The ace comes in. It's Sergey delivering every single kill. And when he finds that AWP, he delivers.
Yeah, like I said, it was a scary setup from ENCE. It looked good for them to take that AWP. Didn't quite see the ace coming through on the back of it, but my God. So the Pistols go out. The problem here, that smoke that was on the top of Banana, there was no read from TYLOO that a player could have potentially pushed through. Now, that's a risky play. Why would you do it? Well, it's a round where they've got Glocks. They've not got an investment. That's where you're going to see the other team just taking these kind of risks to see if they can maybe edge out a bit of an advantage in those fights. Huge from Sergey winning that round, and TYLOO have got to feel deflated after that. ENCE now on 7 rounds.
Yeah, just Glocks from ENCE, and Sergey delivering 4 on the AWP. Incredible stuff coming in from the Finnish player. But TYLOO sitting back here, MP9 on somebody. 5-7 for Freeman, and the rest on M4A4s as ENCE start to gather their troops in Banana straight away. Sergey, a player we talked about yesterday, perhaps not having the greatest of performances, but he's certainly stepped up already. Utility coming through. ENCE look to finish on the B-bomb site immediately. Sergey, he's going to hit the deck. His second kill coming in from TYLOO, and somebody lines up 2 with the MP9. Going back for more. TYLOO finally gets rid of him on the Glock, but things are not looking good for ENCE. TYLOO throwing the utility on towards the site. TYLOO forced back in towards Dark. They need to fight at this point. They need to find another kill or a window of opportunity. X7 still has a smoke, so he can use that in towards CT to cover off the vision of the players to allow TYLOO to get the bomb plant. But he's still stuck in the back of the site. They want to find a pick before they fall. They want a little bit of info before they fully commit to this plant, because when there's not really too many places you can plant with cover on that B-bomb site. So as soon as TYLOO gets the bomb planted, leaving the position now becomes a problem. TYLOO have an expendable player. They have an advantage that they can play with, and TYLOO is going to commit to the plant. X7 playing in front Banana, spots Summer in towards the ruins. Will smoke off CT finally. We'll start to just play for that bomb plant. TYLOO towards the back of the site as well.
And just pushing forward here. TYLOO taking their time. That smoke's going to fade, and CT give them a chance. Up against the AWP, though, maybe not so much. Pistols coming through. TYLOO finds one to fade through the smoke, though, and X7 just about catches it. That was almost the 1v1 going to TYLOO, but a little bit too late to react there. Freeman, I don't think, spotted him.
Yeah, X7 does well. That's a really well played 2v3, right, from ENCE. They don't commit to the bomb plant in the chaos. They take a second to recover, right? Take a breath and start to think about what they can do. TYLOO finds an important kill on the Glock, heads towards the back of the site. Gets that bomb planted eventually with X7 playing in for Banana, covering him off. Smoke comes in to allow TYLOO to reposition. He delivers an important kill. X7 stepping up. And while ENCE currently on 8 rounds already, they will lead the half, moving into the second. Just by 1 at the minute, but certainly looking for more, especially in this round against TYLOO on pistols. Good opening kill from TYLOO as well. That makes things slightly easier.
Considering the fact that ENCE haven't won this before, as they've played 6 times in the last 3 months and never won, they're putting up a hell of a good performance on the terror side. TYLOO's map pick, most played map as well. Things were looking good. They said it on the desk. We said it here. But still with the potential to pick up more than 8. I mean, you're saying they're leading by 1. Obviously, it's looking very probable they lead by another. With TYLOO only having 1 piece of Kevlar, and up against this MAC-10, he'll be torn apart. Everybody else will. Just taking their time, though. And Aerial taking down Attacker. Just, you got to pick them off 1 at a time. Make sure you're not being traded out at any point. A little bit worried. So the player pushing up on short, not a great move, but it's the MAC-10, right? He's trying to find some, he's poking out, trying to figure out if maybe there's a stack there. Now there's only 2 players, so they're confident enough to push towards the bomb site, pick them off as they go. Freeman goes down, and no real damage done by TYLOO just yet. Only somebody left to deliver some killing blows.
Well, let's see if he can do it. 5-7. He might have a couple of players. Sunny's going to turn headshot in. And yeah, ENCE do a really good job at dealing with that. They don't really use too much of the utility at all. They keep that in their back pocket moving into this next one, really trying to build up that cash as fast as possible. TYLOO on 4 rounds on the board. They've got money in the bank to an extent. It's not all the money they would want. They've been investing in that double up setup, which has certainly been paying off. And a big part of their success has been that AWP in the hands of Summer. So I want to see whether or not they go for an investment here, if they go for a little bit of a half buy. But even at that point, it puts ENCE up to 10, right? So it's starting to really become a problem. I think you've got to go for the investment, and that's what they're going for. 2 FAMAS on Summer and Bintet. The M4s will start to come through as well, with somebody left picking up a mere UMP. So ENCE certainly will be favourite moving into this next round to grab their double figures. TYLOO might just have to be content with the 4 rounds that they've got. If they don't win this, then I think it's likely they end the half with 4.
Not ideal.
No, definitely not
even
ideal,
if you're
especially
on the T
map
side.
pick.
Yeah, if you're on the T side, it's still pretty bad, but when you're on the defense, you never want to see that happen. Early presence from ENCE towards Banana, certainly more so than usual. They're tempted to push through that smoke, but playing above it now, just lobbing the Molotovs through. Here come the nades as well. Somebody's repositioned himself up close to the wall as they push forward. Now they've realized where he is. The flash didn't quite blind him. Another comes through, playing anti-flash, but still gets cut off. The Molotov will keep them back and leave Sunny down on 36 HP as well. That health bar was going down very fast. I got a little bit worried, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sunny felt that sentiment as well. Being trickled down to 36 HP, but still alive, and that's the important part. 7 upgrades his weapon, AK now in his hands. He'll start to fall back. He's tasked with holding Banana for any aggression from TYLOO, or potential re-aggression. But they're going to be playing passive from Ruins and in towards Dark. A minute left on the clock for ENCE to play with as they'll start to head their way in towards the apartment. Sunny, the front man leading the charge, has TYLOO clearing the bedroom so they can peek in tandem, and Boiler is no longer an issue, but TYLOO with a passive CT setup inside of the bomb site. You've got Summer hiding in Graveyard, head tucked in, preventing ENCE from spotting him, so he has to rely on his teammates to gather the info for him. He's going to bait them a little bit, but it's certainly a strong position where you can deliver multi-kills. You've got to go for something like a gimmick like this, and while Summer manages 2 before falling, Aerial finally deals with him. He needs more, but cannot pick it up. Freeman finding the kill, an important kill. An attacker will grab 5 for TYLOO. A great haul coming through, and you've got to be so proud of Summer there if you're on TYLOO, right? He comes up and he finds 2 before falling. That second kill was just so quick to rattle those shots off.
1 round left to go, Dinko. Can they do it again? I hope so, because they need 6 at this point. They need everything that they can get. They need 6 rounds. They need a pistol round in the next half as well. TYLOO are certainly not in the best of spots, but with individuals starting to step it up, maybe this is where things change. ENCE with 1 more full buy. They've both teams have got an AWP, but weaknesses come through on TYLOO with 2 FAMAS in play. Nice shot by Summer, though, straight down Banana. And there goes Sergey, but somebody wants to keep getting aggressive on the back of it. Sonny's going to try to exit here as well, and I think he's going to throw a deeper nade, leaving somebody still with vision. He doesn't even have to turn from that flash, and that's a free kill.
Yeah, great kill coming in from somebody. It's going to give a 2-man advantage over towards TYLOO. Deep smoke coming through, and that'll prevent TYLOO from even getting an opportunity to trade. His attacker will drop Aerial. You can see the decisions from ENCE are coming through quite sporadically. They're making the decision to try and make the play. They want to be that player that pulls it back, and great aggression, great timing from somebody catching off TYLOO, and it's all left in X7 here to try and save the half, to try and get double figures, but he cannot do it. TYLOO managed 6. It is time for a break, but when we're back, we'll have the rest of the second half for you. Second half time, and while ENCE are ahead by 3, but TYLOO managed to claw their way back into it. It could be a far worse half for the Chinese side. Mostly Chinese, should we say. And while we get into this second half with ENCE certainly looking to try and steal away the map pick of TYLOO. Mitch, what's on the line here? It's 2 teams, one of them being eliminated in this best of 3, the other moving on and staying alive for a little bit longer. But for me, these two teams should not be here. You know, it should be a different matchup.
Well, considering the fact of how the veto's gone down, the reason we were saying, and they were saying on the desk, that TYLOO looked destined to potentially take this 2-0, and even ENCE, if they were going to win, to bring it over on the 3rd map, was because Inferno looked so favored for them that then Mirage, you know, it can be a little bit puggy, it could work out. This is not playing out the way we thought. Now ENCE are starting to recover a lot of favor as they try to recover the banana controlled. They've just lost it. TYLOO have blitzed on up, seized it, and when you've got Glocks in a round like this, you don't really want to be contesting them up close and personal. And on the range, it's not possible either as X7 is fully blind, but at least Sunny picks up one through the smoke in CT.
Well, Sunny, headshot in. Man advantage here on the CT side. Freeman going back in towards Dark, but the bomb plant coming through. Bentet letting it go down. And they can start to hold on. Holding on for this retake. And starting to attempt it as they run through Banana. Summer holds on, spots the jumping head. His head is taken off though. Ariel able to pick him up as Sergey moves forward. Freeman on the Glock starts to make his way in towards the ruins. And Sunny is holding on here. They cannot find anything as they're not overextending. TYLOO finally will start to lose player after player. Attackers springing in from the new box. He's alone. The last player standing. He's overrun. What a pistol from Sunny. 3 kills being collected. And ENCE will get the defuse through. It'll be 10 on the board. 10-6 is the score.
They were running a little bit low on time in the end, but they easily get that 10th out. And that leaves us now with a bit of an advantage because we talked about TYLOO needing 6 rounds in the previous half. Obviously not at the very beginning, but how things panned out when it was 9-4. They managed it, but the pistol round was pivotal. That said, so far in this tournament, we have seen teams win the pistol, and then we've seen them lose the round afterwards. Maybe that is the destiny of ENCE, as now TYLOO come in with 2 rifles to play with, an AK and a Krieg, and a small bit of utility, actually a large bit of utility bought up late there, as now 3 players have got plenty to play with. This could still be a very dangerous round. ENCE have managed to get themselves rifles across the board, just the 1 SMG. I'm a big fan of this kind of buy, but it does come with a caveat. You can't really lose more than 1 player, and even at that 1, you want it to be X7 or at least be able to save over the weapon. Those 4 rifles have to be carried through to the next round. And doing that up against this kind of buy from the TYLOO side ain't going to be easy.
Not at all. Ariel in the middle of the hallway. TYLOO in the corner. Sunny trying to help him out. Bit the attention towards him. Ariel finally strikes in the apartment. Somebody not ready for that fight. He will fall. TYLOO springs to the action. Sunny is there to help him. And these guys seem to always be together, you know. A good Joe helping each other in the battle. And Sergey will stand underneath the porch as the rest of the players in TYLOO begin to gather, ready to explode in this position. Sergey dropped the bomb. The second kill could have been there, but Summer was quick to land the headshot. And now Sunny is going to stand off in behind the smoke. He has to rotate back through the archway, perhaps even relocate in towards library. They know that TYLOO aren't going back in towards the banana position due to the aggression from X7, and TYLOO will clean up the door. It's 11-6. And while this is looking pretty solid now for ENCE at the start of the second half, this round should be theirs as well. They should be up 12-6, double the scoreline of TYLOO.
Yeah, for ENCE, it's certainly a decent position, not being beaten down when it came to round number 2. Now, there is significant enough reinvestment to come through from them in this round, getting into all their utility. They've got 2 SMGs now to play with, but again, it's not the worst position really to play from. I'm not going to be too critical because those SMGs should be able to farm quite a bit of money. Only 1 player on TYLOO having any Kevlar, making the others squishy as can be. And the spams down middle. And you know at this point, middle control should be yours because you're only against pistols. But that said, TYLOO's just had his head taken clean off. The push from X7, he wants to farm a little bit of money with that SMG, and he manages to before falling.
Well, good shots from Sunny. I think they know where Bentet is, so the pre-fire coming through, and Sunny cleans it up. 12-6 on the board for ENCE. They'll be feeling comfortable enough with the performance so far. But their main goal will be getting this over the line as quickly as possible. If you make a statement, destroying, picking apart TYLOO on their own map pick, puts you in a really nice position, nice spot to try and take this series 2-0.
Not just their map pick, but a position where they wanted to play from the CT side at the beginning as well, right? They got their favorite side on their favorite map.
Yeah, because what we do here is the knife rounds, right? We don't get to just pick, you don't pick a map and then your opponent picks the side they want to start on. We get the knife run every time. Yep.
So it means that if you're winning that knife round on your map pick and you're getting 6 rounds then CT side, not feeling too good about your chances. And ENCE certainly bringing it up to 12 are only further exaggerating that. Now, with TYLOO having full rifles, they've decided to go for a more passive approach to Banana. Decided, after all the utility that came down from ENCE, as they pushed through, X7 didn't actually find the kill, despite leaving Bentet an attacker so low. He falls on the spam. I'm not sure if Bentet had an angle through because it was a smoke just in front of him, but catches the kill either way and leaves us now in a position where we're feeling comfortable for the T side, having a chance to pull back despite the low HP on 2 players.
Well, that smoke's actually really solid from the positioning that the TYLOO took. But of course it's TYLOO, so they don't respect the smoke.
They push through it.
They just walk right through it.
Yeah.
It's like, they call your bluff, right? They're not going to just sit behind the smoke because you're throwing it. They'll test the limits.
They take those smokes as a challenge. Like,
Yeah.
you won't push this and watch me.
Yeah, exactly. The TYLOO way. Well, Summer is up towards top mid. Smoke ready to go around the corner on the left. And Summer will move forward.
Look at ENCE at the moment. They have no information, so Summer can actually fake this out really well, but there's so much utility being thrown at B that Summer's basically useless, then he has to rotate back.
Well, Sunny's up on top of the boosting. We'll find one Sergey able to spray through and pick up intent as well. And they're going to get the timing on the rest of the players. Looking to do a little bit of damage with the bomb plants coming through, but Sergey denies through the coffin. The wall bang spam coming through, but they're lined up. Somebody finds one, make it two as he picks them up. He certainly could have got that second kill before his teammate hit the deck, and he's just made things slightly more difficult for himself, but he will get the bomb plant. 1v2 left here for somebody as he heads towards the back. TYLOO will pick him up. And it'll be 13 here for ENCE. Not exactly the way TYLOO would have wanted this to go. And now things are going for TYLOO bad to worse, should I say, Mitch. And it's getting into a situation where ENCE looking very likely to take Inferno over the line.
Yeah, so the utility usage from ENCE there just cost a lot of time for TYLOO. They pushed forward with 25 seconds left towards the B side, and it didn't look terrible in the setup that they had, but it was just time limited. Summer could have pushed forward on A. If he found a kill, that's probably going to be one, at least, player rotating over to the A side, and you find a much weaker B. But then as he pushes forward, the team calls, okay, there's 25 seconds. We don't have time for you to fake it and then the player to start the rotate. He's basically still going to be on B by the time we push, so we have to go forward. It leaves them with one less man on the push forward, and then they obviously can't effectively clear out those angles with one less player. And it ends now 13-6. It's a really strong scoreline for them. I want to see TYLOO bouncing back, but it's starting to look, I mean, with every passing round, ENCE is just winning it more convincingly. They're building up economy now as well. If they win this, that's pretty much the final nail in the coffin. This is the time that TYLOO have to step it up, and even at that, it will be hard to make this comeback happen.
Yeah, this is more like it from ENCE, but we'll see whether or not TYLOO can get anything done in this round. They have got utility, they have got the AKs. There's a quick play from Attacker straight up towards top banana. He'll pre-fire on the corner, but no one from ENCE is playing aggressive this time. They got a slap on the wrist in the previous round, so they're starting to go for a bit more of a passive setup.
They're just using their utility to clear out banana at the moment. TYLOO progress ever so slowly forward. ENCE have fully stacked up short on A. They've got control obviously towards long because TYLOO's watching with the AWP. And TYLOO are starting to move back. So this A setup is really where we want to be casting our eye. With TYLOO holding down on an op just below the archway, Sergey is up here on the bomb site checking for the push out of apartments. And there we go. Okay, X7 has lopped down some utility. Sunny fakes a rotate out to see if they can maybe bait them. TYLOO gets flashed off the angle here on A. He's not able to get a shot off. And this now leaves TYLOO with a lot of control. They could be top banana. That could have been just one or maybe two players that pushed up middle and now rotate back. So ENCE don't really know what's going on at the moment, which means they might get a little bit antsy and start pushing forward. The only issue is there's 40 seconds left. So TYLOO need to make a decision soon, and they're trying to take advantage of the lack of info ENCE have by faking over utility towards B to hopefully push TYLOO out of position where the long players can then catch him.
28 seconds left. Eventually, TYLOO have got to go. ENCE realize this, and they have good utility usage in towards A. They're not biting at all. They're not rotating anybody over from this A bomb site. 18 seconds. TYLOO have to go. Aerial's going to stay in the pit. He goes in towards the corner. Here come TYLOO. Their final attack in towards the A bomb site. 10 seconds to get it done. Sergey holds. Aerial needs to line them up, and he's done so, but they need to get the bomb plant in. They need to start planting, and there's no time. I don't think there's time for this plant, but there certainly is. 1 second was left. They got it just in the nick of time. The time was slightly different. And X7 left in a 1v3. TYLOO, have you ever seen a round as chaotic as that? 10 seconds left as they finally make their final execute, and they get the bomb plant with just a second to spare.
I don't know how they had the balls to do that, honestly, leaving it so low. You saw that fight was not even as extended as it could have been, and they had less than a second left by the time the bomb was planted. It was like the biggest brain play I've ever seen. Just like, no, we have exactly enough time. Just about. But cutting it right down to the last second, literally, TYLOO managed to win out the round. ENCE destroyed on the A-bomb site, leaving X7 to save over one rifle. Somebody almost dies. He had 5 HP left.
Yeah, it's not exactly like TYLOO in a position where they can afford to throw rifles away.
Nope.
So definitely could have been very, very poor. ENCE, though, they're going to be kicking themselves. I think they were hoping they could have done a little bit more there in the hold, but great kills coming in from Summer, just holding them off. And while it's 7 here for TYLOO, they needed that on the board, and they've got it. ENCE realized they have rounds to play with, so instead of investing and going for a force buy, which definitely would have been ill-advised, they go for a bit of an eco, having X7 on the 1M4 that he carried over. So we'll see whether or not ENCE can do anything with this. Probably not, but Attacker heads to the smoke.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Every time. They did pop a flash over to help him out a little bit, though, so it's not just a W key through. He clears them out, drops a molly. Now they're just going to comfortably move up Banana and take gradual control. Ooh. It's very boring towards B as ENCE just played quite passive, sitting down on the bomb site. You've got Aerial all by his lonesome. And it doesn't feel like he'll be getting a whole lot done from this spot as they begin to push forward. It's on middle that Summer's under threat and eventually gets taken down. 1 kill found. Man, a round like this, you're going to be happy enough to find one. Thing is, though, I don't know if X7's going to get out of here with that M4. Somebody's still lurking around. They'll know that he's either towards like the pit side or short, or indeed coming out around T absence. Just being spotted and taken down. Nice and clean.
Yeah, TYLOO, they get that done, and they don't lose too many players, which is crucially important. We move into this next one, and ENCE will finally have money back into the bank. So TYLOO, yet again, have another obstacle in their way. If they can clear this one, they're going to be in a good position to potentially make this scoreline look more respectable. But at this point, you need to get more on the board. Up on the top of TYLOO, you've got Sunny just playing like a beast, 21-12 currently. We had a big round earlier on from Sergey as well that allowed ENCE to go on their streak of round wins. We'll see if they can go back to that stats as TYLOO heading towards Banana. You've got Freeman ready to Molotov the corner. Bentet, the front man, clears her with his teammate. X7 caught off guard. Bentet nearly follows up with a second, but Sunny will drop him in reply. So 4v4, good utility usage as Sunny flees the scene. He gets back into the site. TYLOO, aggression in towards middle, picks off Summer, giving ENCE the man advantage to play with.
Lucky to get Sunny out of Banana alive. The spam was just a little bit too late. You can see the rotates coming through. A 2-man rotate towards the B bomb site. This will leave a heavy stack. 75% of the players around there. And TYLOO about to run into that heavy stack, unfortunately for them. Look at the utility they've got left. Plenty to work with. Oh, but the Opta's going forward here. TYLOO making a big play. He finds one. They don't expect Sunny to be here as well. As they peek out, Attacker falls, and here's one more. Maybe not. Freeman finds it. He's got the bomb. Well, he has the smoke as well.
1v2 for Freeman. Look to try and just carry himself in towards the B bomb site. Bomb on his back. He wants to put it right where it belongs. Moving forward though, Sergey. Here's the bomb plant coming through. He heard the sound and wants to try and line it up. Well, a perfect lineup from Sergey. He's got a 6th sense for this kind of stuff, and he will find himself a 14th for ENCE. Really nice lineup from Sergey.
Yeah, the Krieg and an op carried forward as well. The comms there from Sergey. He was just shopping around, seeing what was available.
Also showing off his classic knife that I was going to buy it, but again, it's still way too expensive.
Yeah,
so
you're like, oh, it's probably come down. And no.
Yep, I don't think I don't find it's too reasonable to pay so much money for that. So never really been into that kind of stuff.
It's cool though.
It certainly is cool.
Nice knife. This was nice by TYLOO pushing forward. The re-peak a little bit ambitious, but it still opened up a lot of room for Sunny to go undetected for at least 1 kill.
Yeah.
And on 35 HP, that's a really good position to put your team in if you can trade that out for a frag. You'd be smiling just like that.
I'm sure TYLOO was feeling exactly like that.
I don't think he smiles, mate. They're finished. Come on.
I've seen him smile a few times, you know.
That overpass where he jumped down on 2 HP. Yeah, it was a little bit of a smile.
Yep, that was definitely the one. But Attacker, headshot in. This time, there is a player behind the smoke, and Attacker just running through the smoke. Find themselves a kill. So, definitely looking good for TYLOO earlier on. They have a man advantage. Sergey waiting just beyond the smoke. Not again. Surely not. Bentet's going to be dropped to 56th, and it coming in as well. Drops him to 26 HP. Nice stuff from Sergey. Really working with those smokes well. And ENCE, the deficit to play with, but we'll see if they can recover. As TYLOO start to move forward, they desperately need round wins on their map pick. ENCE will be on map point, likely to take it over the line to steal away the map of TYLOO. Sergey sits back in behind the barrel. TYLOO ready to put pressure on towards Sergey. The young Finn looking to stand tall yet again. He will find himself one. Freeman drops his teammate, and now Sergey under pressure. He's only got 6 bullets left. He'll still find a headshot, pulls the USP as he's out of ammo, and he could do more work, but Freeman gets rid of him. I think Sergey actually would have had time to reload the weapon there. Obviously, he doesn't know that, but in hindsight, he could have got the clip back and refilled. And instead, TYLOO and Sunny probably left to save, because if you take a look at ENCE's economy, it's not in a good position. So TYLOO actually have a bit of a window of opportunity here to start to claw rounds back into this game.
He definitely would have had time to reload, but the thing was, as soon as he heard that smoke hit the Molotov, he was like, they're going to rush me.
Yeah.
Shot missed by TYLOO. I think they know his position at this point. Time is so low. You've no kit currently. There might be one dropped on the side, but it's time to just bail. Yeah. Get out of there. It's unlikely that you manage to find all 3 kills and still have time to defuse the bomb, even if you had a kit on both players at the moment.
I think his idea here as well is just to try and pick off 1 or 2 players at TYLOO. Obviously, if you take a look at their money, it's in the bin as well. So every player you drop, it's a rebuy. And oh, well, they've lost the player, so there's another rebuy. And TYLOO managed to keep 2 alive. 14-9. TYLOO not done yet. Still a chance to come back into this. ENCE have to take a bit of a breather. They have got the M4A1S in the hands of Sunny, and they saved over AWP from TYLOO, but the rest don't really have a whole lot to work with. So I definitely want to see these guys just eco. They have rounds to play with.
I mean, ENCE haven't been playing all too bad in the CT side so far. Like, it looks like that scoreline's really closing in on them, but they've only lost 3 rounds. So there's still plenty of room to play with at the moment. I think it's probably 14 to 12 before I start panicking.
Well, TYLOO using up their last tactical pause. So if this game does go the distance, they will no longer have any pauses to take to discuss tactics. So this is the last time we'll see a tactical pause on Inferno for TYLOO.
I think that's really important to call it now, though, because their economy is in like a bit of a wishy-washy position. And if they lose this round, then it's in the bin. Then they're really, really going to get destroyed when it comes down to it. They won't have a chance to close it out without making one mistake. Now, though, if they approach this and they win this, with a little bit of security, they'll break ENCE's economy, they'll have a free round, then they'll get to build up their own economy to at least contest for an OT. Yeah. It's definitely a better spot overall.
Well, Summer's headshot opens up things, and X7 coming back in with a nade. So immediately we're in a 4v4, and TYLOO able to pick out Freeman. The investment from ENCE certainly looking good, but Attacker makes it even. He keeps it even, and he moves forward in towards the logs. He wants to try and pick off Ariel, who's currently fleeing the scene. Ariel makes his way back on towards the site. M4A1S in his hands as somebody moves forward in towards the apartment's balcony exit. Seems to be the area that he wants to poke and prod to see if he can find an ENCE player waiting. But TYLOO starting to get bored, starved of information. Doesn't exactly know where the players are in Banana, but he'll start to see that they are not on the car. Somebody wrapping around the back lines. We'll look up on top of the balcony, but no one here. Somebody just holding on. A minute left on the clock to play with. TYLOO gathering in towards the A-bomb site. But look at the push from ENCE. They've got 2 players just walking straight through Banana. That's TYLOO and, of course, Ariel. The front charge coming through. Sergey under pressure. Here's the rest coming towards him. He does well to find 1, but it's only 1. So it's still a 2v2. Sergey needed that kill, but look who's arrived. Ariel and TYLOO here already. Line up from Attacker. The quickest headshots I've seen.
From that angle as well. I mean, I don't know if he even saw the second player. He's spraying down 1, and I'll take the second one for free. TYLOO can't be happier with that. Well, I mean, if more players survived, he'd be happier, but relatively speaking. It's 14-10. ENCE haven't got a lot of money. They should be egoing this one, leaving TYLOO over on 11 rounds with a bit of economic security as well that should be built up in this one right here. Oh, doesn't get much better than that. ENCE are going to be feeling good after that one. So... Or sorry, TYLOO are going to be
I was going to say.
ENCE are not going to be feeling
too great.
That scoreline is closing in on them very, very quickly. They go from mid-aggression just a straight push. 1 kill found already in a second. It's good economy damage done. I mean, we're talking about TYLOO being able to save up a bit of cash. Well, that piggy bank has just been smashed. And ENCE are buying all the chocolates with the remainder. That's what I used to do anyways. It's all my piggy bank was for. Don't do it, kids.
Don't buy chocolate.
You'll suffer for it later in life, trust me.
Those ankles will not thank you in a few years. But 14-11, 2 away from victory are ENCE. They have rounds to play with, like I said earlier, so they've gone for the investment a little bit earlier on. Didn't quite pay off, nearly did. But now they've got the rifles. No op for TYLOO, and that's been really influential in a lot of these recent rounds. So we'll see if that comes back to bite them. We know TYLOO certainly is a proficient player on the M4A4. TYLOO fast push up Banana again. We see this pretty much every time from Attacker. Right through the smoke he goes, checks the sandbags. No one there. Attacker's already up there. You just can't deal with that. He's just so quick. He really is living up to his name. You know, why you called attacker? I attack.
Attack.
Yeah, basically that's it.
That's it. I mean, look, every time that smoke's being thrown, TYLOO go through it. Just 100% of the time. They don't care. They're ready. And I like it. They're Molotoving off over where X7 is right now. Same molly that they've just thrown. Allows them to take any fight towards the player going to sandbags. It's probably not going to expect a man to just blitz through the smoke like a lunatic.
I think instead of nade stacking deep into banana, I think ENCE just sent every nade to top car alongside a Molotov.
Nade car.
Yeah, exactly. Just start nading that because attacker, that's where he is all the time. But Bentet, the front man, AK in his hands. 55 seconds left. The smoke coming off to cover his vision, sever his information flow. He will start to spam through it, giving away that he is directly behind it. But I think ENCE would make that assumption anyway. TYLOO gathering in banana. 4 players left. Certainly looking like they want to hit this B-bomb site with 38 seconds left on that clock, Mitch.
TYLOO have got the money to invest if they lose this, but they're not going to look at that as a positive. Then they're fighting for an overtime, not for the win. They have to win this right here. Oh my god, I know it's Inferno, but there's fire everywhere. Poor Sonny is a victim of that. He can't get out. There was nowhere he could go. There were Molotovs all around him. He's stuck in a ring of fire, and he went down, 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 but so too to some T's, leaving X7 up behind the back of the bomb site.
Well, X7 sitting back, looking to try and line them up. Somebody takes his head off. It's Ariel and Sergey in a 2v3. TYLOO, low HP on Bentet. And somebody... Sergey, he's been absolutely brilliant through these smokes, but he's got to find success again. Flash up to check the corners. ENCE moving quickly, no kit. That's the biggest problem they have to play with here, but Ariel manages 1 kill, but it's not enough yet. Bentet still 3 HP, but attacker higher on the 83. He will stand behind Nubox, keeping himself alive, and I think Sergey is starting to realize this round is slipping through his fingers. 14 to 12. I can hear TYLOO getting very loud in behind me. Their communication is certainly on point, and Sergey manages 1, but it is not enough. TYLOO get themselves a 12th, and they keep pushing forward. Now, if you're ENCE, you're starting to sweat a little bit. The money is in the bin. You said once they get 12, that's when the problems start to arise. And while TYLOO have reached that number, and also ENCE sitting here with not a whole lot of cash in that bank. So tactical pause coming in.
Yep, this is the pause. This is where they are starting to go, oh, okay, guys, you know what? The CT side favorites.
I mean, you can see that in Ali's face, right? You can see the pressure.
I honestly can't tell. That's how he looks when he wins a 1v5. That's how he looks when he loses a 5v1. This is just...
Yeah.
But, like, for TYLOO at the moment, they've got to be feeling happy. Look, there's a lot of pressure on them. One small mistake, and this is gone. They can't win it. They have to go to overtime. They've built up enough cash that it's not the end of the world if they lose a round. Like, it's not like they'll be left with pistols to pull off an OT. But they don't want to leave themselves in a position where they have to win the 3 in a row. Trying to close in that gap. Lots of work to do, and it starts right here as ENCE are getting a little bit shaky, and they've gone down to pistols. So 14-12, it's even worse than I thought, Dinko, because they've actually only got the pistols to play with. So this leaves them probably on 14-13, which is then just 1 full buy round away from an overtime, more than likely. And possibly even a loss on this map that started out so well for them. They dominated TYLOO in the first half. And TYLOO, I mean, they're up top banana, but it's barely worth calling anymore because apparently an ENCE have figured out that's just the T side of the map. Just leave them alone. They've even picked up a kill towards the bomb site, leaving a completely solo Sonny there.
This style of play is actually going to favour TYLOO even more in this kind of round as well, right? Because you're going up against these weaker pistols. They don't have any utility to stop you from just running right at them. So TYLOO just being so quick. I think that is the TYLOO way. Ferocious in their approach, but they do slow it down now. They realize there's no need to fully commit to anywhere. You've got that opening kill. Summer starting to move his way forward. Has a chance off towards TYLOO, but it's going to be finished off by Sonny. P250 to the brain, and we're into a 4v4. .40 seconds in play. Somebody makes the right call. That could have been a huge problem, but he doesn't expect the second player. He gets out of the underpass quickly enough, though, and Sonny found himself 2 on the AK. It's a big play from him, and now's a chance to do a little bit more, but winning the round probably too far away from the realms of possibility, but we'll see if he can do it. AK in his hands. Freeman sits back in first oranges. Attacker making his way out of ruins. He won't catch him off. No saved AK for Sonny, but he does enough damage to be okay with that. 14-13, ENCE. They are still in the lead, but this is their chance to try and extend it. If they lose this one, they lose the lead. And well, putting TYLOO into a prime position to maybe take the map pick.
Hey, this is where it pays off to have an esports psychologist, because staying positive in this moment, that's where 99% of my matchmaking teams fall down. It's already lost, man. It's like, we're still winning. Relax.
Yeah.
By coming out, ENCE are on the favorite side of the CT side. They're defending. They haven't been doing too well here so far. There's still time to recover that. TYLOO going for the aggressive peek down middle. He's looking for somebody, or one of the other TYLOO players, but he can't find anyone just yet. And eventually decides to back off, knowing they could have come up second mid and they could be about to blitz on down, and he does not want to rely on them not getting aggressive, because so far TYLOO have only had the W key on their keyboard.
Yeah, that really does seem like the only key that TYLOO have found right now. So we'll see what they can do as they sprint straight in towards the A-bomb site, holding W as they go. It's TYLOO picking up one. Aerial coming in with a frag as well. They look to try and hold on, but the kills are keep coming through for the Finnish players. Still the advantage sides with ENCE, even though TYLOO have done good work to find a few kills. Bentet's left with 22 HP inside of the pit. Freeman back on short as well. ENCE, though, they lose their head. Bentet will take away TYLOO. And now Freeman close inside of the site. He's so low. X7 gets rid of him. Now Bentet, 22 HP. And ENCE will pick up 15 map point available to them. A chance to take it over the line, to steal TYLOO's map pick away from them at the final hurdle.
ENCE finally hitting 15. It's been teased in front of them for quite a while, but now TYLOO have got to win 2 in a row to bring us to the first overtime of this tournament so far, of what we've done anyways. As we look towards a good start for TYLOO overall. Then ENCE pull it back in the first half. They destroy them 9-6. TYLOO build up the T side. Now they're looking at OT. Where's their mentality at? I presume they're still going to feel okay, because, okay, look, if this was 15-11, that's still a long enough road, but they only need 2 rounds. That is perfectly reasonable. They've started it off almost every single successful round has had top banana control. This time, they're slowed down a little bit by the Molotovs, but it's still on offer as ENCE maintain a very passive position towards that part of the map. Also worth mentioning, Aerial has had to take out a UMP, so there are weaknesses here for ENCE, even despite winning that previous round.
Well, Sunny sits back. Flash available to go around the corner. X7 looks to try and get close and see what's going on. They have to be aware there could be a TYLOO player close by. They've gone there pretty much every time, but Sunny takes the head off Bentet. Man advantage here for ENCE to play with. And instead of going further to try and follow up on it, they decide to come back in towards the site and play passively. So good decision from ENCE. Minute left on the clock to play with. And ENCE will be looking to try and take this one over the line. TYLOO sitting back in Speedway, taking a very passive angle if TYLOO are to walk up towards the long side. But instead, with 47 seconds, TYLOO are gathering inside of Banana, ready to send their troops up in towards this site. And we currently have 2 players here for ENCE in the back of the bomb site. One playing from Dark, one new box, so this is not going to be easy. X7 looks to try and spring into action. Flash available to go around the corner, but they're pushing up. TYLOO already on the site. 1 kill from Sunny. As Sunny finds a second, as somebody will finally put an end to his antics, but he seems to have done enough. It's all on somebody. 1v4. He runs around the backside. He will pick up X7, but still so much to do with 18 seconds left. At least he has the bomb, but as soon as he starts to punch those digits in, he'll be peaked. And there it is. Sergey seals the deal. More like it from ENCE, as they will get a victory here on map number 1. Inferno, their opponent's map pick, going their way.
After the first half, I thought we'd be able to pull out easy for ENCE, but it absolutely was not. TYLOO made them fight tooth and nail for it, but in the end, pulling it across the line, ENCE have now set themselves up for what should be a series going their way. I mean, they've got Mirage coming up. Mirage, yes, that could go towards TYLOO. They've certainly been playing well, but then when it goes over to Train, we're looking maybe a little bit more towards ENCE to pull it across the line. It's a scary time for TYLOO. They're certainly facing elimination. That was their map to win. Just a really poor start in the CT side. Yeah,
unfortunately, starting for TYLOO. And like you said, this is the elimination matchup. And these are the 2 teams, I've said it before, that I didn't expect to be here. Maybe TYLOO, but certainly not ENCE. And ENCE certainly don't want to be here for too much longer. They want to try and get it done. They want to try and get out of this matchup with a 2-0 victory. Mirage certainly could be one that could go either way, but we said that about Inferno as well, right? We said that about Inferno. TYLOO could have picked that up, but it's quite an uninspiring performance from them on that CT side. Over on the T side, though, they perform much better.
Yeah, I mean, you can get off to a slower start if you're losing the pistol, but ultimately, if you're going to be finishing out there with 6 rounds, you don't really expect to be winning that map, especially with it being your map pick and you're feeling comfortable there usually. it's not nice to see. But hopefully they'll be able to bounce back moving on to Mirage. It provides a different play style, maybe one where they can out-aim ENCE, but at the moment, I mean, they're firing on all cylinders on the Finnish side.
You know, the thing is for TYLOO as well, we've seen a lot of their traditional T sides, right? Just aggression, relentless aggression from attacker moving through. And that, for me, is always fun to watch. I think Mirage will definitely favor them slightly more in that respect. You know, you can get a little bit more aggressive and play more of a puggy style of play.
Yeah, for sure. When you're looking at how they've been playing so far, though, I think we're going to see a little bit less from them when it comes to pushing through those smokes, because there's not as many angles that will leave you in a closed position. It was banana pretty much every time that they were just blitzing straight up on the TYLOO side, getting their control there early on. They did it on both, whether it was CT or T side. They were happy to just, what's a smoke? I'll just push through it. Finding results for it the vast majority of the time. You do that on Mirage, you're usually going to be walking out onto a completely open angle and finding yourself in a really rough spot overall. I feel like we'll probably see them go towards more puggy style, but we can see ENCE's utility maybe meaning a little bit more this time.
I think it's a pretty big pick from ENCE coming through, but I'm looking forward to seeing what Mirage can do. We've got TYLOO having a fight for their survival here in the tournament. ENCE looking to 2-0 the series and keep alive in the tournament themselves. We've got a short break, but then we'll be back with the rest of the best of 3.
Case.